account seamlessly with multiple login options, including your preferred wallet or social accounts. Get educated here. Dive into our comprehensive university content and master the gains. Find your community. Make friends, join guilds, and engage in a growing network of creators, gamers, and crypto pioneers. Buy crypto effortlessly on our platform, your gateway to the gaming universe. Load up on the best in-game assets, rent, stake, and maximize your potential all in one place, the Armory. Polymos is your all-in-one platform for the future of gaming, and it's just getting started.
Polyminians, welcome to this Forge AMA August 5th. We've got some serious stuff to cover today. It's been a long time since I've done a little AMA, been off for a couple weeks, and then we had a fun Alluvium tournament over the weekend. We'll be covering what happened there and just covering what our tech team has been pushing through and what there is to look forward to. As you may have seen, we're now doing our weekly community engagement events. definitely join us. We have a lot of fun in all of these different game nights we're doing across Web 2 and Web 3. So if you're looking just to have fun, join us in some of these party game nights. You want to like prep for a specific Web 2 game like Teamfight Tactics, which we'll be doing tomorrow night, or Alluvium on Thursday night, and the Alluvium tournament on Friday. This is where we're really starting to jump in and trying to build a really fun, connected community where you can come, game, and just have a good time. So that's what we're building right now. But for today, we're going to be going over a couple different things. I'm also going to hop into the Discord. If you guys want to join, definitely show up in the Discord. We're going to be hosting there. And I'm also going to be sharing my screen on both. Yeah, so it's going to be a pretty nice little chill AMA. If you have any questions, feel free to just say hello, see what's up, and then we can go through a variety of different things. And then, really, we're looking to build this platform with you guys. So if you guys have any ideas of how to improve it, what are the features you're wanting the most, definitely share them so that I can pass it to the rest of our team, and we can kind of decide and triage what is most important for us currently. But let's go ahead and jump into what happened the last couple weeks. So we had a TGE last like a month and a half ago or so. And that went well, and then we got a whole bunch of feedback with optimizations, different features, this improvements we can make just to make the user experience better. And remember, one of our primary goals is to make our user experience the best, the smoothest one possible. We want to be something that just seems seamless for a Web 2 user coming into Web 3. So that is one of our main priorities. Make it easy, make it simple. And so that's one of the things we've been really focusing on. And to that extent, we may have pushed it to last second. There was the Alluvium tournament last week, which was a Leviathan tournament, so renting out alluvials was incredibly important. And we did run into an issue where one of our optimizations just wasn't quite checked on production before it went live, and so that led to the assets not being fully sent to whoever the borrower's wallet is. So you could pay for it, it'd move out of the owner's wallet, but it wouldn't read in the new wallet. So that led to you not being able to use these assets you paid for. So super unfortunate situation. We're sorry for any inconveniences that caused anyone. We did fix the situation. I'll go ahead and share my screen now so you guys can see what we're talking about. But we have this Revo right here. It's being rented out. You can see it's got its time. It's perfectly working. That's in my wallet right now. I'm borrowing that. The problem that we were facing was it would go to NAN, just a webhook that I think maybe got copied wrong, or just a small issue there that just led to it not being able to move. Luckily, our security systems are very robust, and so that would just, if it can't get to the lender's wallet, it just go back to the owners, and then everyone got their assets safely back. And if you had any issues, please feel free to reach out. We can get a ticket and get you resolved. But yeah, so everything's working now. In fact, we're going to go through a quick showcase of like how to do this. We'll go ahead and grab this forest right here, and so you'll be like, okay, I like this. It's very interesting. And one thing that we added here that some members of the Alluvium community may not have noticed is we have the ability to click on it, and it'll pull up the Alluvidex. And so then you can actually see exactly what we're working on. And so get through the Alluvidex. I'm not a bot, I swear. So you'll be able to pull up the forest, and then you'll actually be able to see what were those stats. So this forest is actually really quite well, 95 TPI. So if you're looking for a good forest to rent, this one could be it. It's only level 44, but that's still better than most of the other forests out there, unless they've been pushed up. I mean, there are some players who have level 65 forests, so absolute monsters if you can get that in game also. But so we're gonna rent that one out. So you're gonna click borrow, and we're gonna go do both methods just so you guys know. The minimum price for us right now is 50 cents. This is because there is a stripe fee. So this is purely covering the stripe fee. I don't even think Polymos is taking anything from rentals right now. We're literally just trying to provide this as a service. And so we have heard you, though. Some of you want to be able to share your alluvials. You want to be able to distribute to your friends, to your guilds, and do this maybe at no cost. Like literally just hand it to your friend, but you want a secure method to do that. That is something that we've had on our roadmap for a while. We just kind of pushed it to the back. Maybe we'll bring that to the front if you're really, really interested in getting that being able to lend it out to your guild for free. That could be something we can start to arrange. Obviously, we would still need to charge a small fee just to cover gas fees that are associated with moving it back and forth amongst the wallets and our smart contracts, but it's definitely something we could do to make that a better experience for everyone who's playing these games. And I get it, right? Like maybe these assets are not worth 50 cents. I mean, a Forest at 4 hours for 50 cents, perfect stats nearly, that sounds like a great deal. But maybe it'd be a little bit more pricey for some of the tier zeros or whatever. And so one other thing that we're looking into doing is batching. So then that 50-cent fee is maybe for 150 alluvials or who knows how many you want to rent out, so that you'll be able to do that and you can collect as many alluvials as you want, and maybe that'll be for like 50 cents for the whole bundle, making it much more affordable and an easier way to do this. So anyways, we're going to go through, we're going to pick this for 4 hours, and we're going to do the credit card, pay by credit card first. So the first thing you're going to be doing is claiming this asset. And so what this does is just make that signature with IMX, make sure that you'll be able to claim it. This will then move it into your wallet after you have paid for it. And so we'll pull up the credit card, and this is through Link. Link was one of the webhooks that were not quite working, and so I already have all this information pre-filled. You can click Pay, and then it's going to immediately take care of all this. It's pretty quick. Boom, and we're good to go. Now it is going to pull back to the Forge. It's going to sit here for a minute. We're just going to be chilling. It can take 3 to 4 minutes for that to go through. So just know that is one of the situations that we're experiencing right now. So like if you were to look right here, it may still say NAN if we type in Forest. And I don't know how to spell Forest. That's not the right way. For us. Okay. So you'll see there's 4 on the market right now, but if we go to borrowed assets, you'll see that it is, I think, currently at, nope, it's already borrowed. So you can already see that it's already there. And then if we go to our profile, my assets, Polymos wallet, you'll be able to see right here on the borrowed tab. It'll be here in just a minute. So that's what the borrowing looks like from the credit card function. Oh, it's right here. So there we go. It's available. You can use that. And you're good to go. So that is the Forest. If we go ahead and go to Alluvium, it does seem to be showing in the All tab instead of the Borrowed tab. We'll have to make sure that gets fixed. Maybe just another small fix there to get that done. But let's get this Titanor right here. Once again, if you want to see the TPI, you can always click on it, pull up that Alluvidex listing, and you'll be able to see exactly what's on there. And it will see, okay, this Titanor, not great. Okay, it's a 3. You definitely do not want this one. That is a joke. So you probably will never rent that. But I think it's there. So if you want, then again, if you don't have a Titanor, this is still going to give you some bonus stats that you wouldn't get otherwise. So it could be beneficial and should be very cheap. Obviously, it's set at $3 per day. That's not necessarily affordable for what you're wanting, but we're going to choose that 4 hours, and we're going to pay by crypto this time. So we're going to click from there, buy. Once again, we're claiming beforehand, so that it'll go into your IMX wallet. And then you can choose if you want to pay with USDT or USDC. And then we actually provide it so you can pay on 3 different chains. So any 3 of these will work for you. I typically go with Polygon because they have the lowest fees. And then it'll give you a wallet that you need to pay to. And so then we're on Polygon right here. So then all we have to do is make sure that we have the that we have the tokens available, and I don't in this account, so I need to change my account real quick. So we'll go to 1, and so then we've got some USDC here, and so we're going to copy this. We're going to go back to our Polymos wallet. We're going to click send, and then pick that address. And then we're going to change that to USDC. And then we're just going to check that 0.5 USDC, continue, and we're going to send. and then we're good to go. We'll confirm those transactions. Sent, pending, confirmed. This will take just maybe like 30 seconds for that to go through, and then it should be good. But if you guys have any questions on how that's working, please feel free to speak up. I'm just going to check the restream, see if you guys have any chats. Hey, Crypto Quick Chat. Yo, what I miss, we're just going over the rental process, how to rent out a alluvial on our platform, both credit card and via crypto. And so I just sent 50 cents for this alluvial right here that I just got. We're also in the Discord if you want to join in there. If you have any questions, I can pull you up on stage and we can chat about it. But yeah, so this is what we're doing right now. And there we go. Payment went through. So we got 50 cents. It'll automatically return you back to Polymos. And then we can go back to Alluvium here. And you'll see the Titan ore is gone. So let's see if we can find it. Titan ore. Show borrowed assets. And there it is. NANNN. So that's what I was talking about. It normally shows that if you go too quickly, it won't even register that it is. It's still on its transit to the new wallet. And so we'll just go back to our profile, my assets, Polymos wallet. And now you'll see that we've got that Titan ore in here. We got the forest in here. And that was an all. Is it in borrowed? Let's see if it's actually. So, okay, the forest is here. So it takes a second for it to show up in the borrowed. So the Titan ore should move over there. It's in all. It's interesting that it shows available for a second there. But we'll make sure that it's just a thing that shows up for a second and then moves over. But so that's how easy it is to borrow here. Obviously, finding these could be a little bit difficult, especially if you only have one screen. That's something we are conscious of, and something I want to have on the site so you can see exactly what alluvials, what their TPI is, what level they are. It's something that we can add in there. We just need to see, we're working through a backlog of different projects, and there's different chains, different games we're partnering with. So just trying to figure out what is the best use for our tech team. So that is currently what we have for the Forge. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to check the Discord, see if there's any questions there. Hey, we got Dr. Spoon in here. Is there a YouTube live stream? Somehow I can't make my sound work in this channel. Yes, it is on YouTube. If you want, let's pull in. Let's send him a link real quick. Share. Link. Boom. And Sebastian, or Inju, can you hear me, by the way? I'm just curious if you can hear me or not. And Dr. Spoon, can you hear me now? Was it just an issue there, or is that something that's still persisting? Okay. Cool. Well, so there we go. That is the Forge in its current state and what we have built here. As mentioned, there are a couple features that some of the community is asking for, such as the ability to lend out stuff and then have it so instead of paying them up front to rent, maybe it's a winning condition. A percentage of the prize pool goes to the borrower, and then a percentage of that goes to the owner of these assets. Could be a really interesting way to make tournaments, especially if you really trust someone, you want to give them your whole team and you just want like 5%, 10% of the winnings. Boom. That's a cool way to utilize your assets and give it to a pro player, especially with all of the TFT players who might be onboarded in the coming weeks. Could get really quite interesting. And then let's see. Oh, no, that won't work. What else we got? Let's talk about I think it's time that we talked a little bit about the future. So, one thing that we have been wanting to do, it's not necessarily incredibly game-changing, but I think it's really important, especially for crypto, as someone who has picked up some malware in the past, who knows several people who have downloaded a crypto game and got drained. it sucks when you can't trust if you can download one of these games, especially if they're just doing it on their own platform. So we're trying to build a secure game launcher where you can be like, okay, I trust I trust Polymos. I know that they post this games that are trustworthy, and then you can download and play the game specifically there. And so then we'll have our own game launcher page that'll launch. You'll be able to see exactly what we're playing in, or you'll be able to download whatever you want from our page instead of going to random sites and not seeing verified downloads. So, I mean, and even Steam just got hit with this. I don't know if you guys saw, Steam had a massive hack, malware download. Let's see if that shows up on the I just saw it on X. I should have pulled this up beforehand, but yeah, there was a Steam game you could download, and someone got a really bad malware on their computer because of it. So, it really helps to have at least some kind of trustworthiness in there. And I've got a couple little leaks I can show you guys of what that'll look like, what we're kind of working on. So here's our game page, right? So you can already go through, borrow, and eventually we'll be able to buy tokens and other things that'll be really helpful. When you're hovering over it, you should be able to see some other interesting things. But what I want to get into is, we're going to skip that one for now, the launcher. So right now you'll be able to click on Play Now. It'll pull up the game client required if you don't already have it. If you have it, you click Play Now, boom, it pulls up the game. You're good to go, just like any other game launcher, if it's Epic Games or Steam. And then if you don't have it, though, it'll ask you to download it. You'll be able to install and go through all the installation steps. We'll have a nice little tracking bar here so you can see your game is downloading. And then once it's finished, it'll be like games installed, downloads complete. And so it's just going to make this whole process look a lot better as you start to download different Web3 games. And as we're doing our games each week, a different game of the week, we want you guys to be able to trust all the games that we're kind of playing. And so if you have our game launcher, you'll be able to press that and join in on the fun with us, knowing that we're using game verified files and stuff like that. And once the installation is complete, there'll be a nice little installation complete. Then, if you need to update the game, we'll also have it so that it'll show updates. You'll be able to update along the path. And then that's kind of what we're looking on the game launcher side of it. And then we are working on a games page. So for each of these, we're going to have like a small little intro. We're hoping to have, valuable information, any key insights from maybe some pros in that game, or maybe even some media, some YouTube videos, maybe from the actual studio themselves or from other content creators, or just anyone who wants to post by our reviews. And so we'll have a review section where you can post interesting information that might be related. And we might reward a lot of the players and content creators who post on here, showing and giving advice to the Polymos community. So that's one way we're planning on giving back in that way. But that's what we've got coming up in the next couple weeks. That's what our dev team is now pushing on that. That's the next sprint. And then that just the game page and the game launcher. So they will make it quite interesting. And then after that, we have a couple chains that we're in contact with, a couple different games on different chains, and then, or we work on specifically improving Illuvium, renting and borrowing capabilities, or maybe Futureverse or one of these other games that we're already partnered with. There's a lot of different ways we could go, and it's figuring out which one is going to give us the best bang for the buck, and which one is there, where are the players at. And unfortunately, we've been sitting in Web3 where there's not been many players for a long time. But after this recent surge with crypto, altcoin season might be right around the corner. I'm hopeful that we're going to have a big influx of people coming in the near future. But we got some other people in here. Spoon, cheers, mate. Soda, hey, Caveman, I came in. Will genetic and levels be visible directly inside Polymos? Unfortunately, not right now. I will mention that if you go to the marketplace, you can pull up all of them individually. So you could be like, okay, this Surrealscape, you could click on that. Or let's do Illuvium specifically. So if we click on Scoriox, you'd be able to pull that up and be able to see Scoriox's specific stats. So right here, you'd be like, okay, this is a 27 TPI Scoriox. I know that's a little bit of a hassle. It's something that I wish was a little bit cleaner. as I just mentioned, we're trying to figure out what we want to put in our next sprint. So that's kind of where some decision making will be made. And I do bring back all of the community insight and pass that forward to the team. But that's there. Crypto Quick Chat, does the PLMS wallet link with your IMX wallet, or how do you play the game from the PLMS wallet to use the rental system? Okay, so I can go through that here. So if we go to My Accounts, you'll see here's my account. And so you'll have your PLMS wallet. You have your primary IMX wallet, which I attached. That's the one I'm playing with currently. You also have a secondary, a couple other IMX wallets, and your MetaMask. When you click Connect Game for the first time, you'll click Connect Illuvium. And so any of your secondary wallets associated will then be connected with Illuvium or whatever game we're on. So we got Arena of Faith and Guild of Guardians, which is already automatically connected through Wallet Connect. Illuvium just doesn't use Wallet Connect, so that's a little bit difficult. Futureverse is on the Root network, so they have their own, and we managed to get a chain automatically connected. So Illuvium is one of the more difficult because you do need to make sure that you click here. And then what that does is we can go to our profile here, and you go into your profile, and you'll see that you have a couple different wallets right here. And this won't show up unless you have a secondary wallet. And so then you have your primary IMX wallet, which is that OX74, which was, well, we'll pull it back up in my accounts just so you guys can see. So that's the OX747 right there. And then if we go to so one of the secondaries is OX3B, and then you can see that our PLMS wallet is OX3B. So that's the PLMS wallet that's now associated. And what happens is when we click go into game, go into a Leviathan match, it just pulls the alluvials from any of your secondary wallets and your main wallet and brings them in. And the way it's supposed to work is it's supposed to pull the highest level out of all of them. That's how it's supposed to work. Thanks for the questions, guys. All right. So that's kind of what the plan is there. Let me check my notes on what's next after that. I want to go into rewards. So we're currently going back and forth. There's a lot of different ways we can reward people, for claiming these days, claiming any of this. We're going to have more quests on here soon. Really wanted to get you guys more involved with higher levels of engagement, creating content, creating memes. We used to have a really strong meme culture in Polymos where, this is Sparta and all kinds of stuff like that. We really want to bring that back because that's what I found where there was a really strong community here. And that was back when Illuvium was just launching. Polymos was an actual guild. We're not a guild anymore, just to make that clear. And it was a whole different type of community. And so right now I'm kind of in the transition of trying to do that again. We're not going to be necessarily a guild, but we're going to be a hub for gamers. In fact, this week I'm trying to get all the guilds to come play with us. So right now I'm talking with Patat and Slicks to have them over, maybe do a skills workshop, speaking with Ola. And what I'd like to do is have, 4 to 6 different guilds per week coming in at different times. We now have a pretty large community management staff. So we have myself as head of community, and then we've got a PH community manager. We have a Spanish community manager and a Brazilian community manager. And between the 4 of us, we want to hold 4 events, potentially a day, so that there's always something going on in the Polymos Discord. You can always just be like, hey, I'm looking to play a game. Let's see what Polymos is happening. And then you can find someone to play with here that's going to help you, enjoy your journey into Web3. And so we want to start building ways that you guys can get rewarded for attending, getting those points. And then we're looking into interesting ways that these rewards, these PLMS points, will transition. We can obviously just transition it straight into PLMS, but we can also do stuff like discounts on rentals or discounts on PLMS. Like there's different content levels. If there's a special guide made by Sota in the audience of how to use rogues, you could have like a special little, it costs you 200 PLMS points to view this video. And then you just spend your points, you get to see a special video made by Sota or, one of the other pros that are in in a game that you're interested. Now, I'm curious to hear from you guys. Do you guys have thoughts of a specific way that you'd like rewards done? Because we'd love to hear that. We do plan on having, leaderboard rewards. If you've been spending a lot of time really being consistent and being active in our community, we want to reward you. So weekly and all time, we have ideas for all of these. I'm kind of going into the next topic, but I'm going to Gamescom, and I've got a cosplay, a Spartan cosplay, and I got a custom shield. And so this shield, maybe that'll be one of our rewards. And so you get like a legit metal Polymos shield as a reward. Something to think about. It's not confirmed yet because I'm going to try and steal that and hold on to it for as long as I can because it looks epic. But yeah, so I'm going to Gamescom. I think I'll jump into that. That's the next topic. Very curious if anyone in the audience is going or if you guys know anyone who's coming, especially Web3 content creators that we can hook up with or Web3 studios that'll be there. Love to get in a conversation with all of them. We're thinking of holding a side event where we'll have a panel discussing Web 2 and Web 3, and hopefully we're going to try and bring in a whole bunch of these Web 2 gamers, be like, hey, check out, we're going to have a panel talking about good Web 3 games. And it's Illuvium week. We know we're going to be talking about Illuvium during that panel a little bit, but and obviously a lot of our other partner games. But hopefully that panel will be able to change the narrative a little bit about why people are scared of NFTs, why they're scared of crypto gaming, because there are some really cool aspects of it. The immersion you get from having NFTs in game is like no other feeling you can have. I don't know about you guys, but the Leviathan tournament, even though I didn't make it to top 16, it felt so good playing with my Alluvials and doing the best they could. I'm like, you guys tried, all right? You fought, and maybe there was a 60 TPI, level 70 monster Atlas that just stopped all of us. Oh well, we had a good time, and so I thought that was really cool. And I think being able to share those kind of stories and hopefully have a nice debate. I would love to have some big Web2 influencers that hate NFT gaming also come up there, and we can have a little back and forth and try to have a really good discussion about it. We're also going to be trying to reach out to all the different Web2 influencers. We're going to try and get them to come to our game nights and be able to show them, hey, these are not scams. Once again, these are great games. There are some great games here, and change that whole narrative. Yeah, but that's kind of what we're thinking of doing for Gamescom. Should be a really cool time. If you are going to Gamescom, find me, take a photo with me, because there's also going to be a reward if you can find me in the costume. I also have to say, here, let me show you. I actually got a picture of the shield. Check out this shield right here. This is the shield I'm getting developed right now. A big, nice, dark black with the Polymos logo on it. Oh, I'm super pumped. Yeah, and it's gonna be made out of metal too. My fear is I'm not gonna be able to take it into the Gamescom because there's some cosplay regulations, but we'll see what we can do. Here's what the costume is, the full one that I got. It's just your regular Spartan costume. Obviously, I'm not shredded like this guy, so I've been fasting for the last couple days, trying to last week or so, and just hitting the gym as much as I can, trying to get a little bit more ripped so I don't look terrible. But also, I think there's some regulation against showing your chest even as a male, so I might have to cover up a little bit, which is probably better for me. I'd probably embarrass myself if I tried going out there looking how I do currently. But so there's the rewards. Let's go through what else we got on the AMA. And tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow I'm getting a haircut. Okay, and we're getting a flashy haircut. We're planning on going, and you guys need to show up to an event tomorrow, or on Thursday, or the Illuvium tournament on Friday, which I'll share a little bit more details at the end of this, because I'm gonna look pretty cool, and it's gonna be way different. We're doing something with the hair. It's gonna be quite interesting. Caveman has never done this before, so stand by. Here, let me check the Discord. We got Sebastian in there. Hey, Sebastian, if you have any questions, let me know. So moving on. The other thing that we're thinking of doing for rewards, I missed this earlier, is we're going to potentially partner up with some hardware companies like Logitech and some other things, and maybe you can use PLMS points to get some of these hardwares at a significant discount. I think there's some potential ways we can get some partnerships in that way as well. Our Web 2 network is massive. They have huge connections all across the place, and I think that it's just showing that we have users and that there are some interesting ways to work together. And as soon as one game starts to pop off, has consistent players, has consistent renting on our platform, boom, we're going to get these deals in. It's going to be super simple. And then we're going to open the floodgates for the 20 million players that we have in our network. Outside of that, with Buff Gaming, with a lot of these other Web 2 platforms. If you haven't been tracking Polemos, we have a really good partnership with Buff Gaming and another one that is actually off the top of my head, but combined it's over 20 million players that they have regularly, and they're happy to start pushing in. They're looking for a little bit of what's the word? They want to get into Web3, but they can't legally because of their jurisdictions and whatnot. So they're trying to do this through us temporarily, and then they hope to expand more and more as it goes. But so that's what we're looking for there. I think we're pretty close to the end. I'm curious if there's any other questions. If I don't hear any, that's cool. I do want to talk about a couple events that are coming later this week. So starting tomorrow, we're going to be rocking with Scoriox. We're going to have another live stream talk. We're going to be mostly focusing about Illuvium, especially that price action today. Can I get like a W in the chat for that? Let's pull that up real quick just to see where it's at now. Watch it like tanked after I said that. Now it's still above 20. This is awesome to see. We had a huge peak. What did it peak at? I'm curious. $23. That's crazy. That's a huge thing. I mean, it was at 12 like a day ago. So that's really, really exciting, especially because we're going to be having the tournament now, and we got 60 ILV for the tournament. So there you go. If you don't know you already, we got 60 ILV for the Leviathan tournament on Friday. That's going to be awesome. Thank you, Illuvium, for sponsoring that. But that should make it really interesting. We'll see if we can get some people to get really excited about that. So that's tomorrow. I would ask, if you don't have a Polemos account right now, please go and set it up. And we'd love to see you guys renting and testing out the Forge. If you guys have any questions, just do a 50-cent test, just to see how it feels. If you guys have any feedback, we'd love to hear that back. We want to make this useful for everyone, and obviously you guys are the OGs if you're listening to this right now, and we know how valuable your input is, and we really do appreciate that. So if you guys could do that, that would be awesome. Tonight, we're doing our party game. It's Roblox. All right, it is a brain rot game, as one of our other gamers said, but it's kind of fun. We've had some good laughs on it, so we're gonna have another one of those in roughly 3.5 hours, and then there'll be a Spanish one in roughly, what is that, like 9.5 hours. So that should be super fun. We have that Scoriox live stream tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, we're going to start kicking off our TFT game night. So hopefully we're going to reach out to some of our Web 2 network, hopefully get some of these Web 2 TFT gamers in, be like, hey, let's play some TFT. They stomp me because they know the meta and everything, and then they'll be like, hey, come check out this Web 3 game, Illuvium, and see what they think of when they come in and try that, and like, wow, okay, this is really cool. And then hopefully we can lock them in with a lot of the different guilds we'll partner with, and they're like, okay, I'm looking for a Spanish Illuvium focused guild, and maybe it'll be Ola, or maybe there's another Spanish game guild that they'd be interested in partnering with. So that's what we got for Illuvium, or that's TFT. For Illuvium, we'll have an Illuvium game night, same thing, and hopefully we'll have 3 there, and then potentially a 4th CM, which I haven't even mentioned, which is going to be the Portuguese. And we'd love to have some players coming from Brazil. That is a huge gamer hub, especially in Web3. So we'd love to be able to get them involved in the Polemos platform. So we got a new CM coming from Brazil. So that'll be really exciting. And all 4 of us are going to be playing Illuvium on Thursday. We're going to have 4 game sessions there. Love to have people come in and enjoy, talk about strategies, and just have a good time. Some of these people are brand new. Like Sebastian in the audience, I don't think he's played much. I know Ian from PH hasn't played much, and then our new Brazilian CM hasn't played at all either. So it'd be great if any of you OGs want to come in and help them. They would absolutely love that, and it'd just be a good time. So that's the Illuvium game night. Let's go ahead and check. It's just the beginning, Spoon says. I do hear that, and it feels like everything's warming up. We did have some sad news. I do have to point out that, I don't know if you guys saw, Sparkball is kind of pulling back. They didn't get the investment that they needed, so that was sad to see. That was a game that I personally thought was fun, and I thought it could compete with some aspects of League of Legends, and just didn't make it. Sad to see. But yeah, so then we have the final topic, which is the Leviathan tournament on Friday. And so this is the Rental Rumble. If you were here last December, we had a Rental Rumble, and our platform was definitely a work in progress. It still is, and we acknowledge that, and we're always trying to improve it. We're gonna make it a very valuable platform. It's just a matter of time of how long until we get it in there and make it useful for the games that really have traction. And as soon as we get one of those, we'll put all our effort towards that single game and make it explode, make it the best platform for rentals and just onboarding players into. But for this Friday, you can use any of your alluvials instead of like last time you had to use rent from us. That was just because we wanted you guys to try it. But yeah, feel free to use all of them. Even if you don't use any from the Polamus Forge, that's fine. Well, we're just trying to build up a good Leviathan tournament. It's going to be at 11 a.m. UTC or 10 a.m. UTC. I don't know what I posted. It's already posted somewhere. I'll make sure to double check that. We're going to have a post going out later today in a couple hours that will break down all of the conditions and how we're planning on setting it up. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And then unfortunately, I actually don't have more details at this time. So that's what we're holding on. But I think that's all I've got to talk today. I really appreciate everyone showing up. If you guys have any other questions, I'll open the floor one last time. If you want to come up on stage and say something, feel free. And yeah, I think I'm happy to be back. I took a 2-week vacation last month and went all over Scotland, and that was just it was really good to get away. And now I'm feeling real alive, and we got Gamescom coming on soon. I'm just super pumped. I think it's gonna be really exciting, and I'm hopeful that we can get some Web 2 influencers to come in here and see some of the cool stuff. Like that's one of my biggest goals is to do that. I think that. You know, all you have to do is make one friend in Web3, and then you come in and you're like, okay, these are actually real. And then they're like, okay, this is cool. I can make money doing this in some cases. And then the immersion aspects can be the final hook. So, but awesome. Well, I'm going to call it there. I appreciate everyone showing up. I'm going to hop off. Maybe we'll try and squeeze in one game of Illuvium real quick. And then I got some other work to do. But otherwise, you guys have a great day. And I'll just pop off. Caveman.